Hi, this is the second and final part of the solving problem blurb. I like to offer 3 tips for solving problems. Number 1. The first is related to my point made last time about not allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed by our problems. If we are one of the lucky ones, we may only have a few problems, but in all likelihood, we have more than a few. It could even be a few dozen. Our problems can be categorized from slight to severe. So how do we begin the task of solving problems? In life, we need accomplishments. We need victories. If we're always losing or being beaten down, life is a drag. It's hard to deal with. So some of our accomplishments can be as fundamental as solving a problem. But here's the first caveat. We cannot solve all our problems at the same time. We may be fortunate to solve a few, but it's too difficult a task to solve every problem simultaneously. So we don't even try and accept that we can't. Practically speaking, we should always try to solve the problems that require the least amount of time because those are the easy victories, and we love victories. Secondly, at the same time, we have to give a lot of attention to the most pressing problems. They too might have a timely solution, or they may not. So we have to think out solutions, and in some cases it may include lots of steps and take lots of time. However, persist we must. We must do so while long term we have to address the bigger problems. We must also strategically use our resources, which are finite, time, money, relationships, to make progress. But that is the key, namely to always be making progress on our problems, whether they be the ones that we can solve in a day or two, or the ones that take a lot longer time. We can't solve them all at the same time, so we have to strategically pick our battles and knock out the victories by solving some and making progress on the others. In fact, we have to prioritize. Sometimes it could mean ignoring some of our problems, as we can't spread ourselves too thin as to get little or nothing done. So patience and perseverance while selecting and choosing which problems to work on, that's the key. Thirdly, the third thing is that although scoring victories by solving problems is paramount, there are always more problems surfacing. The problems only stop when, I guess we know when they stop, and that's probably the biggest problem of all. So therefore, we must keep something very important in mind. We must have breaks for our problems. We can't always be stressing about them because that's too unhealthy. So we must pause at times and do 2 things. One is to address our obligations, whether they be social or personal, like, for example, physical fitness, always keeping ourselves fit. Secondly, we must have our recreations. We must enjoy people, our hobbies, or just the things that please us. It might be partaking in sports, or reading books, or listening to music, or going fishing, or skydiving, or whatever. Point is to participate in those recreations with gusto, because doing so begets the energy that we need to deal with the problems. So that is our balance in the process. So let me summarize. First, accept that we can't solve all problems at once. Secondly, try to have an orderly and practical approach to solving problems, with the goal being to score victories by solving them. And third, not to neglect the counterbalance to our problem solving by applying ourselves to our obligations and also relaxing with our recreations. We must always have some fun. So right now, go have some fun. Thank you very much.